You know that cold silence that leaves you spinning, replaying every word, every moment, trying to figure out what you did wrong? That's not an accident. It's one of the narcissist's favorite weapons. They don't go quiet because they're calm. They go quiet because they want you desperate. The silent treatment isn't about space or reflection. It's about control. By cutting you off emotionally, they force you into a panic, making you crave their attention and apologize for things you didn't even do. You end up begging for scraps of connection while they sit back and watch you crumble. And the most painful part is how invisible the abuse looks from the outside. No shouting, no bruises, just silence that eats away at your confidence until you start to believe you're the problem. But here's the truth. Their silence isn't your fault. It's a tactic, one designed to break you down while making them feel powerful. Silence is a tool of control. When a narcissist goes silent, it's never about needing space. It's about power. By cutting off communication, they create a vacuum that pulls you in and keeps you off balance. That silence isn't calm, it's calculated. Without a single word, they shift the dynamic in their favor. Because now you're left scrambling, trying to figure out what went wrong. You replay conversations, second guess yourself, and start to believe you must have caused it. That's exactly what they want. The silence forces you to carry the emotional weight of the situation while they sit in control, watching you unravel. And because it's invisible abuse, no yelling, no confrontation, it's harder to recognize, which makes it even more damaging. The quiet becomes their weapon, and the more desperate you feel to break it, the stronger their hold becomes. Create self-doubt. The most dangerous part of the silent treatment isn't the silence itself, it's what it does to your mind. When the narcissist cuts you off without explanation, you're left filling in the blanks. You start replaying every conversation, wondering what you said, what you did, or how you could have avoided it. Slowly, you begin to believe that you are the problem. That self-doubt is exactly what the narcissist wants because it shifts all the responsibility onto you. Instead of recognizing their behavior as manipulation, you internalize the blame and try harder to please them, hoping the silence will finally break. But the more you doubt yourself, the easier you are to control. This is how the cycle works. They stay quiet, you spiral into guilt, and they never have to take responsibility. The silence becomes a mirror, not of your mistakes, but of their ability to twist your empathy into self-blame. Air punishes without explanation. The cruelest part of the silent treatment is that you're being punished, but you're never told why. There's no clear reason, no conversation, no chance to fix what supposedly went wrong. Instead, you're left in a state of confusion, waiting for the silence to end. That lack of explanation is intentional. It keeps you stuck in uncertainty, desperate for answers that never come. The narcissist doesn't need to shout or argue. Their silence becomes the punishment. And because you don't know what you're being punished for, you try harder, bend further, and give more, hoping to avoid it next time. This invisible punishment is what makes the silent treatment so powerful. It traps you in a cycle where you carry the guilt and responsibility while they never have to lift a finger. The silence itself becomes the message. You're powerless and they're in control. It forces you to chase. The silent treatment is designed to flip the roles. Suddenly, you're the one doing all the work. Their withdrawal pulls you into a panic, and instead of waiting for them to come to you, you feel compelled to go after them. You reach out, you apologize, you try to fix things you didn't even break, just to end the unbearable silence. That chase is exactly what the narcissist wants because it confirms their control by forcing you to pursue them. They position themselves as the one with the power to give or withhold connection. And the more you chase, the more they retreat, stretching out the silence to keep you hooked. It's not about resolution, it's about watching you bend under the weight of their absence. That cycle makes you believe the only way to restore peace is to sacrifice more of yourself, while they sit back, feeding on the proof that you'll never let go first. It protects their ego. At its core, the silent treatment is about shielding the narcissist from accountability. Speaking up, admitting fault, or working through conflict would require them to face the possibility of being wrong, and that's something their fragile ego can't handle. Silence, on the other hand, lets them avoid all responsibility while still punishing you. By refusing to engage, they protect their carefully constructed image and shift the entire emotional burden onto you. Now you're the one overthinking, apologizing, and carrying the weight of the conflict while they sit in silence, feeling superior. It's not that they don't know the damage they're causing. It's that the damage benefits them. Their silence spares their ego at your expense, keeping their sense of control intact while your confidence takes the hit. And the longer they withhold, the more it reinforces the idea that they're untouchable and you're the one left broken. It reinforces the power imbalance. The silent treatment isn't random. It's a way to flip the balance of power in their favor. Every time they go quiet, the weight of the relationship shifts. Suddenly, you're the one chasing, apologizing, and carrying all the emotional responsibility while they sit back and dictate the pace. That imbalance is exactly what they want. The longer you react to their silence, the more control they feel. They don't need to argue, explain, or justify anything. All they have to do is withhold, and you do the rest. Over time, the dynamic becomes clear. Your peace depends on their mood, and your self-worth feels tied to their approval. That's how the silent treatment cements its power, not through words, but through the imbalance it creates. And the more you fall into the trap of trying to fix it, the stronger their control becomes. Breaking free means refusing to play. The silent treatment only works if you respond to it. The power of this tactic lies in your reaction. The worry, the guilt, the chasing, the endless attempts to fix what isn't yours to fix. The moment you stop feeding into it, the dynamic changes. When you no longer beg for their attention or carry the blame, their silence loses its grip. Refusing to play doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself more than their manipulation. It's about recognizing that their silence isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their need for control. Once you see it for what it is, you can step back, protect your peace, and no longer let their silence dictate your self-esteem. That's how you break the cycle, not by getting them to speak, but by realizing you don't need their voice to validate your value. The silent treatment can make you feel invisible, unworthy, and powerless, but the truth is, their silence was never about you, it was always about control. The moment you stop chasing, stop blaming yourself, and start protecting your peace, the power shifts back where it belongs, with you. You don't need their voice to validate your value. You've had that strength inside you all along. If this spoke to you, subscribe and come back whenever you need a reminder of your worth. And let me leave you with this. When someone goes silent to control you, do you break under the weight of their silence, or do you see it as the proof you deserve better?